Flash off.
Turn off the flash.
Yes. This is him, you think?
Yeah, I think so. But maybe he can just leave his truck there.
Fine.
You don't have to show me what
Yeah, let's go over there.
Are you Miguel?
Hey, Sarah, how you doing?
Fine, how are you? We dressed
Waiting for my guy Louis.
Okay,
He's any minute now.
okay.
We can go over and show it to you.
We can show it to you. We can
Okay.
let him in.
Hi.
How you doing,
Hi,
Miguel?
All right.
we dressed up for you.
All right.
Did you see? And you got your coming.
I
Let me
see you.
Let me see that. I love it. I love it. Who made the design?
And my guy Louis.
Real? Oh, Louis.
Yeah. They actually you see my other truck. This is more
Yeah,
like
this
the
become,
this is
that's,
more like the throwaway the job size trash.
Mosaic shop.
I don't know.
Right, I don't know. I'm just checking.
Let's stop in the water.
Is it the
Oh,
water
the
guy?
water guy?
Yeah, it looks like the water guy.
Yeah, the water
Yeah,
guy.
okay.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Let's
Yeah.
go. I'll show you what it is. Bring your stuff, and then I can let them in. We can start with the
Yeah,
garage.
let's go to the garage.
Yeah.
I just want to
Yeah, that's the water
make sure
guy.
it's not the inspection.
Yeah,
The
no,
You
inspector.
guys look like you're going to Hawaii.
I know.
Yeah, we are planning.
Right. I think he's the water guy.
I went
Let me
to
ask him.
It doesn't look like the water guy. Just a second, we have another property there. We have to check out who it is. Just a second. Maybe your partner will show up.
Okay. Now, do you know what we want to do is, you know what plants we can do on the soil?
That I do not know.
You don't know
I just
anything?
got here and
Okay.
they've actually even changed that where they're allowing some stuff.
I know, and it's so confusing because
Yeah.
every inspector says something else.
Well,
They're
I would,
changing all the time.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi, this is Avi.
hi. Nice to
He's the one
meet you.
that planted this, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And he,
every municipality is different. I
Yeah.
just got here. They've just updated this to allow some levity
Yeah.
with planting some stuff.
right,
One person I would suggest,
yeah.
Green Spaces, Saline, S-A.
Can you send me an email on it? You have my email.
That
Yeah.
web link thing destroyed all the computers today. I have,
Yeah, I
Saline?
know. Let me just
All
let me just write it down.
yes,
It's-
you can
it's-
phone or call there and they will give you patch you through to her. Her name is Saline.
Okay, let me just send. I'll send you. You know what? I'll send you an email now because I think the systems have been up. We had problems at the university too.
Yeah.
They've been updated, so I don't think there's a problem with.
I still have no access on my
You're-
tablet. and stuff,
okay,
so-
all right.
So it's a cloud and a cloud and a cloud
so
or
let,
something.
so let
Yeah,
me.
right. The cloud and everything
the
went
cloud
down.
and everybody's so cloud. And they don't think what
Yeah.
happens when you don't have cloud, right?
I went through Andrew. I can tell you what happens when
I
people
know.
think they're going to have phones because they got this little
Good
thing.
Right.
All of a sudden,
so
everything
Charles,
stopped.
What
But if
is
you
your?
don't
So
have
let
any
me
answer-
ask you in the
Wait a
meantime.
minute,
You
let
want
me
to get the
yes,
numbers
yes,
and the
please.
name?
Yeah, let me get your Charles. Let me. What's your name?
CCARR at
Oh, you can see it here. Can you?
CAR.
This is yours?
Yeah, CCAR at
Cor-
Coral Gables
.com.
at So when did you start at this city?
March 31st.
Okay. 'Cause
This
I've
is
heard so
Charles
many good-
Carr.
Yeah.
Your name is?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard so many good things about you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I come with a lot of experience and stuff.
right.
So
Maybe you can even, okay, so here, I'm going to send, Jesus, next. Okay, and now I'm going to say, who am I looking for? Saline?
Saline.
What's the name?
SAYLEEN Arrocha.
Saline.
I say that with a lot of Spanish accent
Yeah,
here
right.
because everybody understands that if I say Arrocha, it's
Right. So how do you spell that?
AROCHA.
AROCHA. Arocha.
Yeah.
Okay. And who is she?
She is the permit review / right hand of Dina, who is the Green Space Director.
Okay.
And she's the one that is the knowledge of landscape architecture and that kind of stuff. So,
Okay. So you don't know any, you can't give me any clue.
I'm the tree guy.
Okay, okay. So
And I learned at my last city, if the less I know, the better it is, because I will get their job.
So why not deal with the tree, Sarah?
Okay, all right. So what should we do?
We like to keep the ivy,
We can't.
you know, and they told us that they don't want it in the street. Let me show you what we
What
did.
are we calling ivy?
Ivy, this green and yellow
Okay,
ivy.
that is not ivy, it's pothos.
It's pothos.
Pothos, okay, so
So why
they
don't you
told
listen
us,
to- why don't you listen to
let me
Charles?
tell him please.
Okay.
What we did here, you see how we have trunks that are cut.
Yes.
The previous inspector told us, don't worry about what's up, because we told him, hey, to get up to the top of the tree is too much challenge, we cannot do it. So he said, don't worry about it, just cut it here, and then they will fall, they will dry and fall, and you can see that he was right.
Some of it.
This was Martin. You know Martin, he used to be on charge of this inspection.
Yeah.
Anyways, you'll meet him, I'm sure.
No,
So we cut all of those down, you see?
Yeah.
And we did it for both trees. He told us the city doesn't want the ivy potas,
ivy.
the potas going into the street.
And we don't really want it in the trees either, because you see what's happening there. In another year or two, it's going to have the whole tree swallowed, and the tree's going to die.
Okay, so what
It's
do you
not.
want?
It's not like
Like-
Spanish moss and stuff
Oh,
like that.
okay.
That's a symbiotic. This is an invasive vine that looks cute in baskets hanging from your
Yeah,
porch.
right.
You put them on the ground, and they just.
Right.
take
Okay,
off.
so what do you want to do?
You can go ahead and move to try and create a division at the trunk, like what somebody was referring to.
Yeah.
From my experience, these are epiphytic, and if it rains, they will continue to draw water and they will continue to grow. So at that point,
You have to cut?
probably within the months, I can send my vendor over to trim
Okay.
these up a little,
Okay.
and I'll have them remove what we would refer to and use as some people don't like it because I try to get code compliance people
Right.
to understand something about the word weed. They will come and tell a homeowner or a
Yeah.
resident that you can't have weeds in the right of way.
right.
It's a generic term.
I know,
And I
no.
tell them, I said, you can't use that word because a weed to one person, I used to grow, I don't know if you know what Spanish needles are.
Yeah, sure.
I grew Spanish needles.
Right.
Nobody wants them in their yard.
Right.
Flower people
Yeah.
that want butterflies
Right.
love
And
Spanish
Spanish
needles.
Right.
You don't really want it all over your yard
Right.
because it's all tag
Yeah,
alongs
right,
are all
right,
over
I
your
know.
pants. So the word weed, I try to keep them from ever
Yeah.
using it. Undesirable or an invasive.
Right.
This is classified as an invasive.
Yeah.
It's actually on all the lists now as an invasive species.
Okay.
So I can tell my guy to come remove the
Okay.
invasives from the crown. That
Okay.
way it'll let the tree reestablish.
Oh, okay, great.
And
Okay, you
we'll do a
understand.
little bit of reduction pruning and
Okay,
clean out
yeah.
some of the dead wood and let them take off. If
Okay.
you all want to move, like I said, to whatever, and I tell people I don't like to be in the code side of it unless I
know,
have to.
I know.
If you want to create what I would call a demarcation point, hand high to separate the roots and leave the rest for
To fall
Our
by
vendor.
itself.
No,
Yeah.
for the vendor. The vendor's
Oh,
gonna
for the
come
vendor,
and-
okay.
vendor's gonna
create
come
a
and trim.
separation so
Right.
you can show that
Yeah.
you're trying to comply
Comply, yes.
and that the city arborist is moving to remove the stuff out of
Yeah.
the crown.
Fine. What
Yeah.
about if it grows on the ground and away from the trees?
Again, talk to Celine. That's I
Okay,
don't want to
okay.
tell you something and get
Yeah.
you heading this way and then you
Yeah,
got to turn back.
okay.
Talk to Celine to see if they have a list or something of
Yeah.
what's allowable
Uh-huh.
in the right of way.
Okay.
I don't want to turn you, like I
Yeah,
said, I
right.
give you part of a thing,
Yeah.
you get your hopes going
Because
this way.
because they do already. You see, they drop down.
And then they
Yeah.
start
And here,
growing on
can
the
you
ground.
come over there to the other tree? And the other tree, what happens is, they told us the same thing, so we cut them down.
So we started cutting down the.
So we cut them down. You see here in this area, and then they started growing on the ground. So we like to grow them in the ground
Yeah.
And just trim
because
the grass.
they're not like grass that you have to trim it every second
Yeah.
day.
Like I said,
That's not yours.
talk to Celine because
Yeah.
I don't want to steer you the wrong
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm,
but
in the end of the day, I'm okay with it, but
Yeah.
it's,
But
I don't
my
make the
question
laws.
is-
Yeah, I know.
if when they cut it,
When they're gonna trim it, what are you
can
gonna?
we take them and plant them in the yard so they are off the trees?
If it's in your yard,
in
I don't
my
think-
right,
if
in
it's
my yard, yes.
Yeah, if it's in your yard, I don't think there's a problem with it.
Okay.
It's when it comes into the public domain and what's allowed and what's not allowed. Period. End. I don't know.
So
You gotta-
Yeah.
yeah. What do you think?
I've seen that tie wrap there.
Yeah, in the beginning we didn't know we couldn't do it, so
Yeah.
Avi tried to keep it so it would grow. He thought it looked we thought it looked nice on the ground, right?
And that's holly or a ficus. I can't tell from here.
It's another tree.
Yeah,
Because I went around and I found
it looks like a ficus.
that a lot of building around have that.
Pulling up mine.
Yeah, it's ficus.
Okay, and what is that not good?
Well, what ended up happening again, it's going to swallow that tree. That's probably going to take about 10 years. But it's going to start swallowing it. You've heard of what's called a strangler fig.
Yeah.
It's just going to tune that whole thing, and it's going to take over the
And
the
how
main
did
tree.
that come? They just came about because we didn't have it.
Yeah, it's a seed.
Okay, and then they.
Probably look within a few hundred yards. You'll probably find another one.
Okay.
Birds
Yeah,
carry the seeds
that's why
around.
we started. We took some cutting from the building that had all the trees had this growing on them,
Yeah.
and we planted them. And there were other neighbors over there that has this ivy. I don't know what is this called, but this can
That's a.
this can climb on the
The
trees.
common name is Swiss cheese plant. They're
Okay.
referred to as the Cubans
Yeah.
call them malanga.
Okay.
And that doesn't destroy the tree?
Almost anything that vines will continue to grow. This one and that one, you'll see the size of the leaf.
Yeah.
This is somewhat diminutive, and it
Yeah,
starts off
they-
even smaller.
they become
and then
huge.
as it goes up, you see how much bigger the leaves start
Yes,
getting.
right.
Yeah.
If you see them in at Home Depot,
Yeah.
the leaves are about that big in a pot.
Right, right,
But
right.
once they take off, they're one of the few plants that go in reverse. The higher up it goes, the bigger the leaves are.
Yeah,
Normally, it's
yeah.
smaller at the top.
Okay, so what do we need to do with you then?
So just a minute. If you continue to go like this, you'll see immediately as soon as you make a left-hand turn,
On the corner, yeah.
there is another house that has these growing in here, and they climb also on the tree.
Tree.
Yeah.
There are a lot of houses around here that have these on the trees.
Yeah. Again, I'm not code compliant, so I don't get there.
No, but
I'm
when-
gonna solve your problem. I'll clean this out. Let
Okay.
these
Okay.
trees be open and
Okay.
airy,
Okay.
and then you'll be
And
fine
you'll
with
get-
that. And then you do whatever thing. But if you
Okay.
show that, if you, like I said, do that
The
separation
separation,
around the
yeah,
trunk,
okay.
that'll show that
That you
you're
are
trying to
helping
control the ground. And I
Okay.
will try and get my guys over. It'll probably be a month or so
Yeah,
because we're
yeah.
way
Can we
behind.
postpone it? Can we make it later than a month so we have a chance to work on it more?
Well, anything they do up there, they're gonna do with buckets.
Oh, okay.
They'll
All
like
right.
park the truck here, go up there, and just pull stuff
okay.
off
Yeah,
and
well, we
drop it out.
told you, yeah, you
Fine.
did. Okay.
And it's one of those things when if they have a free day, then they'll
Yeah.
come and do something like this where there's no life safety issue. I can't call this a life safety
No,
issue. So
no,
Yeah.
take
no,
your
I'm talking about as far
time.
as the
Yeah,
code
yeah,
compliance
yeah,
officer.
yeah,
So when they
right.
tell you, I deem it not a life safety issue.
Right.
So when they can, they'll get here
Okay.
on part of a maintenance thing. They'll come
Okay.
by, they'll remove the ficus, they'll
Okay.
remove the
All right.
pothos up there,
Okay.
and
so
then
can you send me just a note that you've been here?
Yep.
And
I'll loop was it Lynn?
Lynn, right.
Schwartz.
I'll loop Lynn into it, into the one you sent me.
Right, and then loop Lynn Schwartz and tell her that we're complying. You met with
Yeah.
us, you told us,
Yeah,
you're working
She
with
didn't.
us.
She didn't sound like she had any problems.
No.
She just wanted me to come by.
No,
so.
but I'm just telling her that it's reinforced, you know,
Yeah.
because you know how some of these sticklers
Yeah, I'm gonna
are.
write notes in there and everything, and then I'll send in what we call a 3-1.
Right, and just maintain it, you know, that it just looks good, you know what I mean? That you
I'll write in there what's called 311, which is an internal work order for our administrative assistant to make a 311 request
What's
for our
that?
vendor to come out and clean these when.
clean it.
Yeah,
Good.
right,
When you have
fine.
time.
Yeah.
All right, y'all have a
I
good
just
day.
wanted to tell you that if you drive around here and you go straight there and then make a left-hand turn
They have those.
on the corner house, every tree has these growing on it.
Malanga,
Yeah.
like Swiss cheese.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of those things that they enforce it when they can, and then it's like they try not to be authoritative at times, so they
Right.
let it go for a little while, and then it's like,
So will you make an order for them to cut these from the tree also over there?
unless somebody reports it, I'm not
He
going to do it.
doesn't do
But
it.
if I'm reporting it, would you do it or?
Not reporting to me. You have to report to code compliance. I'm not the
Oh,
I'm not the
okay.
police
Okay.
department.
Yeah, no, I just want to figure out how it
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
No,
out.
that's a code compliance issue.
Okay.
I am the one that would inspect it, but I can't initiate the case.
But when this grows on the tree, it is just as compliant or not compliant as
Yeah.
these.
And I don't even know if she was calling for it to be a code compliance issue, but at a point I would have to come over here and see it, and that it is going to sooner or later kill the tree.
let's
Then
go.
I
You
get
have
in.
to plumb it.
All right, we have some plumbing problem.
Okay,
Thank you
all right.
very much.
You good.
We finished.
Kill
one more.
trim. You finished. he came without me even saying anything. You know what I'm
Yeah, it's good that we saw.
saying? Okay, now let me over here.